Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I am Stacey Dykes, manifestation coach and intuitive healer. And today I want to talk about the reason why your manifestation isn't working. So if you've been having problems manifesting, this is going to be an amazing video to help you figure out what is preventing you from moving forward. So I have 7 tips for you guys today, and this is through my own process of discovery. When I actually had gone back and looked at all the manifestations that I went through a process, and there are pitfalls where I found myself getting stuck and then my clients would get stuck. So I'm going to share those with you today. If this video brings you inspiration, if it gives you something that you've been looking for, please remember to go ahead and like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification. I did not know where the bell notification was, but if you hit the subscribe button, the bar that comes up, there should be a little bell next to it. If you click that bell, all the new videos that come out with me, you'll get a notification. So let's get started. So with anything with manifestation, the first thing that comes is a desire. So a desire to have something in your life that you don't currently have. And the first place that people get stuck is they're not clear on what they want. There's a lot of belief around, can I have it? Am I allowed to do that? Like, am I allowed to have that? I don't know what I want. People are waiting for the outside source, God or the universe, to give them inspiration for what they desire. And this is backwards. The inspiration is coming from within you, and it's moving forward. So if you've been in a place where you've been stuck for a long time because you're waiting for God to give you the roadmap, you're waiting on yourself. So the first step for you is to get clear. What do you want? And I know that sometimes that feels really big, so try to taper it down. Maybe you're like, instead of looking at this big broad picture of what you desire, what is something that you want that you could bring into your life right now that would be small, that would be fun to manifest? So go ahead and bring it down to something that feels really, really easy. Maybe it's as simple as you taking out a notebook and a pencil and writing down, I want this in this area of my life. I want to feel this in the area of love. I want to feel secure and safe and happy. In the area of health and wellness, I want to feel good in my body. I want to feel inspired to move and to take action. In the area of my business, I want to feel passion. I want to feel like I'm giving back to the world. I want to feel inspired. Okay, so maybe it's not like a physical thing. Maybe it's a feeling first. So go in and really ask yourself, what do I want in this one particular area? Focus it down and see if you can find a feeling or a couple feelings. Maybe allow that to grow into, I desire this physical thing because of these feelings. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So step 1, desire. What do you want? Very clearly. Step 2, beliefs about what you desire come up as soon as you say you desire something. So as soon as you say, I want to make a 6-figure income, I want to have financial freedom, I want to attract the life partner, as soon as those things come up, all of the belief systems that you believe about yourself come up with it. And people get stuck. So they decide that they want something, and then they go out to start manifesting it. And then all of these subconscious beliefs start coming up, and they get caught in a rut because they don't actually know that you have to go in and figure out, what am I believing about this? What do I believe about bringing in my life partner? So I'm going to give you a few things that are core beliefs, and I want you to feel in your body if anything resonates, if anything dings a bell, if anything's like, ooh, there's something there, I feel that. So the main core beliefs that I work with are not feeling good enough. Like, I just don't feel good enough. I don't feel like I'm ever enough. I never can do enough. I don't feel like I'm loved. I don't feel like I can be loved. I don't feel lovable. I don't feel like I have love. I don't feel like people love me. I don't feel worthy. On some level, I don't feel like I'm worthy of having the things that I'm asking for. So there's core belief systems, which are a handful. It's feeling not good enough, feeling not enough, feeling not loved, feeling not worthy. And there might be one more in there that I'm missing. But there's core beliefs, and they're at the very, very like bottom of your subconscious. Like they're the things that are operating and then that are like manifesting out all the time. And then on top of them are layered these like other belief systems on top of that are covering these core belief systems. So as soon as you say, I want to manifest my soulmate, my specific person, the one, whatever you call it, my life partner, as soon as you desire that, immediately, if you're holding these belief systems in there that say you cannot have that for whatever reason, all of those belief systems start to come up, and that's what starts to manifest. So maybe you have a habit of manifesting bad relationships. Maybe you have a habit of manifesting the wrong person. Maybe you have a habit of like going out on dates and getting ghosted. Maybe you have a habit of like being the good guy. I don't know. There's so many like different scenarios. What you want to start looking at is looking across the board. What is actually coming to me? What have I been manifesting? And then how is this relating to what I feel about myself? So when you can start going deeper and looking at and being honest with yourself, and it's hard sometimes to like go deep and like feel like be honest, when you can go deep and say like, I really don't feel like I'm worthy of love, even though like, and it brings like emotion up in me, because as a being, it's not true. As a soul in a body, it's not true that you're not worthy of love. But when you pick up this belief system, it prevents you from actually allowing yourself to have it. That's what you're manifesting. So really quickly, I want to go into this subcategory of like these subconscious belief systems. So when we start manifesting, we start doing the affirmations, right? I am so happy and grateful now that I have my dream partner, and I'm like so in love with this person and I feel good. And you start doing these affirmations. But below the surface, what you really feel and what you're really manifesting is those core beliefs. It's the things that you really believe that come up in your head after you say after you say the affirmation. It's those beliefs that come up that say you're not going to meet the right person, or you always attract the wrong person, or your family growing up wasn't like good. It was a toxic relationship, and that's all that you're allowed to have. Those are the things that really need to be looked at. And I know that we could do a whole training on just belief systems. So just start to become aware of what you really believe. Start to become aware of, as you're going through your day, you've said your affirmations. What are you hearing? What are you hearing in your mind when you're thinking about manifesting that thing that you desire? What is going on in that mind? What are you telling yourself? So many times we don't listen and tune in to what we're actually saying. It's just this constant like voice going on inside of our head. Oh my God, don't eat that. That's going to make you fat. Oh my God, like don't look attractive. Like you have to be safe. Oh my God. Well, I'm sorry, I got a phone call. So it's got me off guard. Caught me off guard. All of these things, right, that are going on in your mind. So be aware of what is going on mentally, okay, throughout the day. That's like a lot for number 2. Number 3, what do you see in your mind's eye? What are you holding as a vision? Do you visualize? Visualization is the power. It's the power in like giving yourself that clear roadmap to what you desire. I visualized actually like intuitively before I even knew about the law of attraction. I would just go in and start like visualizing. I visualized myself creating my first salon. I owned a salon and I would go in. I hated the salon I worked at. I was 22, 23 at the time. I hated it. And I would get home from work and I would sit in my living room and I would visualize people coming to my house and like me having an appointment book and filling up the appointment book and me like cutting hair. This room was a dining room, but it really could have been converted easily. And I would visualize this like every day. It was just an intuitive thing I was doing. And within like a month's time, I ended up quitting the salon I was working at and opening my own salon, which I did for 15 years, I think. I don't know. So, what vision are you holding? Visualization is one of the most powerful things. So, taking time every day to see yourself as the version of the person that already has the things that you desire. I like to visualize in the afternoon or when my kids aren't home. So I like to do it in like the afternoon time. It's just what feels really good for me. So I'll hold an intention of what I desire to visualize or what I want to see in my mind. And then I'll go lay down on my couch or my bed and I'll close my eyes. I'll take a couple deep breaths. I'll get myself relaxed and I'll bring up the scene as it's already happened. So let's say visualizing going on a really awesome trip for my anniversary. I'm visualizing going to my parents. We've already gone on the trip. My husband and I have already gone on the trip. We're picking our kids up from my parents' house and I'm telling my mom like how amazing it was and what wineries we went to, and my kids are excited to see me. So I'm seeing it from a place of it's already happened. I'm building the emotion within myself of feeling good that it's happened. As you are visualizing and you're building the emotion, you need to let the emotion rise. Sometimes when you visualize, there's things that come up and you're not like emotionally attached to it. See if you can find something that creates an emotional response in you, something that builds this emotion within you. And as it builds and you feel like you're receiving the award or your like business is financially, you've come to a place where you can afford to go on these amazing trips, or you can pay off a debt for a family member, or your health has like you're out of the woods and your health has improved, or your marriage is like stable and in harmony. When you're allowing those emotions to rise, you get to a point where you literally feel like it comes to a cusp and you'll have an emotional response. A lot of times I know when I've gotten to that point because I cry. I like it feels so emotional that I actually cry. Allow those emotions to build within you until you get to a point where you get to that point, and then it's done. And then I literally feel like after I got to that point where the emotion gets so high that I let it go, I want to just get up and move on with my day. So I just gave you right there the power of how to visualize. You want to see the scene as it's already happened, and you want to feel an emotional response to it, a powerful, positive emotional response. You want to let it build to the point where you feel like it's at the highest level it can be. You have some kind of emotional response. Your heart's like open and wide and expansive. You cry, there's tears that are coming. You feel excitement, you feel overjoyed, whatever it is. And when it pops, you get up and move about your day. Number 4 is action. So many times people put the cart before the horse. They try to take action before it's time to take action. And as I've really been playing with this process and I've looked back across all of my manifestations, a lot of times, and my clients' manifestations, a lot of times, more times than not, things fall into your lap. When you are doing this process that the 1, 2, and 3, things fall into your lap. You are inspired to go do something. You are doing your normal thing and something drops in, someone calls. That's, I'll give you an example. So I wanted to manifest a free cup of coffee. Like, this is a small little manifestation. I wanted to manifest a free cup of coffee. I had not ever decided to manifest a free cup of coffee. I was reading something on Reddit about manifesting free coffee, and I was like, oh, I've never done that before. Like, I had no attachment to it. I could have cared less. And so I lightly thought like that would be fun, and that was it. And I let it go. I'm going to meet my sister-in-law at the zoo, and she texted me on the way and said, I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts. Can I get you something? And I'm like, no, I don't have any cash on me. She's like, no, I'm going to get you something. What do you want? So a lot of times with these types of manifestations, you put it out there and the universe matches you. It brings that thing into your life. So what we do is we start doing this process, and then we feel like we have to take action. We feel like we have to do something. When you feel like it's a feeling of like forcing, it feels like anxiety. It feels like pushing. It feels like I have to do this. It feels like this kind of choking energy. If it feels like that, it means that you are doing something that you don't need to do. You're doing God's work. You don't need to do that. How you know when to take action is it feels inspired. Like, maybe you have like a light thought, like, oh, I should call that friend. Or, oh, I feel like I want to go grab a drink from Starbucks, and you run into the person that you've been meaning to talk to. Or you just get this nudge. It's this light, like, kind of nudging feeling. If it's something, in my experience, that is something big, like you've been really desiring it, it's something that is going to manifest into your life, and it's something big, you will get nudged from the universe. My example was in my post I did somewhere in here about how I manifested my husband, my specific person, my one. I was nudged by my sister and my best friend to go to this party. Like, they were pushing me, but like in a loving, gentle way, like no was not an answer. And so if you are like lining up to manifest something, and it's something that you've been calling in, you will get that nudge from the universe. It's going to push you in that direction. A friend is going to give you the post for the next, job opportunity. A friend is going to call you to go to dinner, and you're going to meet that person that you need to meet. Okay. So if you're trying to take action from a place of forcing, like you're trying to work out and you're forcing it, and it feels like, ugh, you're forcing it. So get to a place where it feels natural. It feels like you want to move your body. It feels like you want to go do that thing. It feels like you've been called to do that. It feels like, oh, I should just go do that. It feels just like a natural process. Okay. Number 5 is building the faith in the belief within yourself. So many times people manifest little things, and it's fun things, and it's easy because of step 1 through 5. It's super easy. They desire the thing. They have a light thought about it, like the coffee. Okay, there's no stakes around coffee. Like, you could care less if you get a cup of coffee. It's fun, but it doesn't mean anything to you. The things that are bigger, there's so much around it, right? Like, there's so much around money. It's such a weighted thing. There's so much around love and relationships. There's so much around physical body and health and well-being. So building the faith is taking time to do the process of, and I'm getting ahead of myself, but we'll just do it now. Building a bridge from these small manifestations, like saying I want a free cup of coffee, and then allowing it to manifest in the next 2 weeks, and really like connecting to that, understanding that you are the creator, that you and the universe are working in together. You're working in tandem together. You're working together to manifest. Writing down your list of things that you desire and seeing them come into fruition. Like building those small things and like allowing those to build and build a bridge to the bigger things. A lot of times people want to go from like these small manifestations into wanting to be a multimillionaire, but they don't believe deep down that can happen. And so as you start to do these small manifestations and it builds the faith within yourself and you start doing those affirmations, you're seeing yourself and you're visualizing, you're building this belief in yourself like, yes, I am a successful person. Yes, I am a powerful creator. Yes, life is responding to me. Yes, it's bringing me these things. Yes, this is happening for me. Yes, this is working in my favor. As you're building these beliefs in yourself, it starts to get easier to manifest those larger things because you've gotten all of this back energy moving in the direction of like, of course this works for me. Of course it worked for that. It's going to work for that. And the only reason it hasn't worked for that yet, the big thing is because I have to get clear on what I desire. I have to clear out my beliefs around what I believe about myself, that I can have it. I need to hold a vision and I need to allow inspired action. Okay. Now I put 5 and 7 together. So we'll just call that good. We'll go to number 6 and then we'll go back through. I teach I feel like we get it when we hear it multiple times. I know it's annoying, but sometimes we just get it. Step 6. And this is the hardest this is the hardest thing for most people. And I get it because I've been there. Surrendering and letting go. I get it. When you desire something and it's something that feels so big and you've wanted it for so long, for you to say, I give it up, it's like, what? No, I'm not going to give this up. Your ego is going to hold on to it till like death. I am getting this thing. I'm not letting it go. What you're surrendering is you're surrendering the control. You're surrendering the how. You're surrendering the ego. You're surrendering, the ego hears surrender and let go. Your ego hears, that means I'm not going to get it. But that's not what you're surrendering. What you're surrendering is the need to control how and when it's going to come. You're surrendering the outcome. You're surrendering all of the ways in which it could come because you have no idea in the ways that it could come. You have no idea. It's not your job. That's God's work. Your job is to hear the desire within you, get clear about it, get all the stuff out of the way that's preventing you from doing it, take the inspired action and allow. Get busy with your life, have fun, and know that it's coming. It's coming when it comes. That's it. And I know that's so hard. I get it. I get that when you really desire something and it's not happening, it feels like it's never going to come. It feels like this is never going to happen for me. I don't know what I'm doing. I can't figure this out. I get it. Every time that I've ever had to surrender something big, my marriage, sometimes I've had to surrender my marriage many times because I've gone through growth periods where I was changing my own identity and what I desired. So sometimes my marriage wasn't in alignment with that and I had to let it go. I had to let it go within my mind. I've had to let it go prior to us getting married physically once or twice. I had to let go of it having to look what I thought it was going to look like. And in my mind, I had to make peace with all options, which means there's something that we're I don't want it to happen that way. I don't want that. And so we put a lot of pressure and a lot of resistance towards that thing, a lot of energy towards that thing. And so really we're putting all of our focus on this thing that we don't want, and we're not allowing everything to be equal. When you can let that one thing that you don't want to happen, like for me, it was a divorce. That was the opposite of what I wanted, but I was putting so much emphasis on I don't want a divorce that I was not letting go. When I could surrender to maybe that's an option, maybe that's what has to happen for me to have what I desire, which wasn't the case, but I had to surrender it. I'll give you another example. So I created a water birth experience when I had my first daughter, my first child, who is my daughter. I created a whole scene around having this water birth, who I wanted as my midwife. We had to drive an hour and a half one way to get to the birth center. Like, I had a list of 15 things I wanted. And when you're going through this process of creating a natural birth, there is a real potential that it won't go the way that I desire, that I would actually have to go and have a C-section. Like, I didn't know what was going to happen. Obviously, I was creating it, but there was a part of me that had to surrender to getting a C-section, the worst possible outcome, the thing that I didn't want. And so I came to a place, and this was the exact process that I'm teaching you. It's the exact process that I used. I came to a place where I really, 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 really wanted this water birth, and I really wanted all the things that I wanted within it. And I got to a place where I had to surrender and say, if I had to have a C-section and it was for the well-being of my baby and myself, then so be it. And it's okay. And it's this collapsing of your holding on. It's the collapsing of the ego. It's the collapsing of like clinging to this outcome. And when you do it immediately, everything is an equal playing field. All options are equal. It's like that, I can do that, and I can get this too. It's all equal. And so when you can fully surrender and do it with, I'm looking for the word, authenticity. When you surrender because you're authentically surrendering to all options and outcomes, it comes really fast because you've literally let go of the resistance. You've collapsed time, and it can come very easily. And so that is the entire process of where people get stuck manifesting. And I hope that this has been helpful for you. I'm going to go back through it one more time, see if there's anything that wants to come out for you. So when a desire comes up because there's something in your life that you don't have and you do desire, more money, successful business, to impact the world, to make a large impact on your community, to be helpful, to be a better person, to be a better parent, to be a better partner, like any of these desires, to manifest a free cup of coffee, get clear about what you desire within that. How do you want to feel? If it feels like too big, just narrow it down. How do I want to feel? What do I desire around this? Know that you get to have it, and anything that says that you cannot have it is a part of a core belief system that you're holding that is not in alignment. And that is the work of clearing those things out to allow those things to come to you. Get really clear on what you desire. Hold the vision. Practice visualizing every day. Visualize from the perspective of you're in your body and you're seeing it happen versus you're like witnessing it happening outside of yourself and you're watching it. Be in your body and see it happening. You are doing the thing. You're hugging your partner. You're drinking the glass of wine. Take inspired action. And if it doesn't feel inspired, if it feels like you're forcing it, pushing it, making it happen, that's not your work. Remember that. Just bring that up in your mind. Like, this isn't my work. This is not my work. This is not my work. Okay? Building the faith within yourself takes time. Go back and bring in small manifestations. Bring in the free cup of coffee, bring in a ticket to a concert, bring in someone saying, man, your hair looks nice and shiny today, or you're really an inspiring person, or you have a beautiful smile, whatever it is. Those small manifestations, keep doing them and building the faith in yourself, because as you do and you start connecting to, I am powerful and this is happening for me, you start to build those stepping stones to those bigger things, and it starts to be like, I get to have that too. I get to have that. I know I do. And finally, let all outcomes be equal. Surrender, let go. Just know that it might not come the way that you think it will. It's more than likely it's not. It's not going to come the way that you think it's going to come, but it will come. So surrender to all outcomes and just trust that it's all working out for you. All right, beautiful creator. I hope this has been inspiring. Like I said before, click the like or subscribe button, leave a comment below, whatever you desire. I hope that you have an amazing, amazing, amazing day. If this helps you and it helps you to manifest, come back and comment, because that really makes my heart happy. All right, bye.